Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our La Liga career mode here with Sevilla. We are back today with another huge episode as we will be taking on Real Madrid in the Champions League quarter-final. Both legs coming today as well as more big games in La Liga where we've built up a nice healthy lead at the top of the table. So we're looking pretty good for the Spanish title. And we're still, of course, unbeaten as well. So a couple of records to go for. But most importantly, as I say, we've got that Champions League quarter-final against Real Madrid. First leg coming here away at the Bernabeu. This is going to be absolutely huge as we reach crunch time in the season. Vamos, Sevilla. Yeah, so this is obviously a huge first leg here at the Bernabeu where last year we threw away the La Liga title with a 4-2 loss, and quite often our games against Real Madrid are pretty spectacular. We face them in cup competitions, we've had big league clashes against them both this season and throughout the course of the save as Prados does well to clear, but yeah, I'm expecting a really tough game. We've got no Loic Barde, of course. He's done for the remainder of the season. PK is just coming back from injury, so he's on the bench. But I think it might be quite high scoring across the two legs because most of the games against Real Madrid are as Sanchez into the area, no one to pick out. Garcia does well to get back at him, and it's been a frantic start here at the Bernabeu. I'm expecting more of this as Pedrosa finds Amin, and Pedrosa finds a Ros. Mr. Champions League fires it wide in what has been a frantic opening 15 minutes at the Bernabeu. There's more to come. You may have seen from my lineup, I have managed to get that man Cameron Puertas into the team today after his magnificent performances in the last episode. He's not starting in the attacking midfield role, the number 10. I'm playing him slightly deeper as one of our sort of number 8s, but watch Mbappe, watch Camavinga, watch Mbappe. You can watch him all you want, but you can't stop him. And maybe I should have gone for a more defensive piece. I've moved Beñat Prados back to centre-back with Barde being down injured, and with the form that Puertas has been in, I thought I'd go for him in midfield over the likes of Agume or Sau or Frendrup. Well, he's unable to get anything on it as Mbappe is slid through and knocks it past Kepa to give Real Madrid the lead. Oh, Mbappe, that's a quick turn. Mbappe has it back from Vinny. Mbappe away from Prados and into the back of the net, and Sevilla are in serious trouble. Well, I took a bit of a risk today moving Beñat back to centre-back. I did say when we signed him that he can play there, and he's a long-term replacement for Nemanja Gudel, but he doesn't really do enough there to stop Mbappe, and you give him that sort of room and he's going to punish you. We're 2 down and we've got a lot of work to do. Well, I'm not going to panic just yet. There's a long way still to go, let alone just tonight, but over the course of this tie, as Aymar gets away, can he finish? Yes, he can. And that is exactly what I was saying. Right on cue, Mr. Champions League gets us back in it, and we've halved the deficit. That is more like it. I said there'd be goals tonight, and I wasn't wrong. And you know what? I won't even be too disheartened if we head back to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan trailing, because we've beaten them on home soil a few times. As Ros at the back post was onside and smacks the upright. Pulisic, watch that pass to Mbappe. Kepa's calm and does really well to get there. That's a big stop by the Spaniard to deny Mbappe his hat-trick. If that goes in, then it is a long way back for Sevilla. Real Madrid have 2 over for the corner again. Instead, it's into Valverde. Sanchez does really well, and that might come for PK, the substitute. He's got fresh legs off the bench. PK turns on the afterburners. PK! What a brilliant run by the Spaniard. And Sevilla are back level from 2 goals down. A big save from Kepa down one end, and PK down the other levels it up. 4 goals in the first leg, and we're not even halfway through the tie yet. Camavinga. Forward to Mbappe. Jude. Vinny, great defending. Sanchez doesn't get there. Fouls his man. Bellingham. Real Madrid back in front. Like in the fixture here last season where we lost the title, we got back on level terms. Thought we'd done enough to claim the point that we needed, but Real Madrid struck late on, as they've done here, and it's Jude Bellingham, the Englishman, who scores past Kepa to give Real Madrid the lead again. What a cracking first leg. Oh, Jibril, what is that? The skipper gives it away. Jude. Dani Ceballos, Jude, and Mbappe. Oh, Kepa's made a bit of a howler there. And it's Real Madrid restoring their 2-goal advantage as we head back to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Crazy game here at the Bernabeu, very reminiscent of that league fixture here last season. And in trying to push for an equaliser late on, we gave the ball up in a dangerous position, and you can't do that when Mbappe and Bellingham are lurking. Kepa should probably have got hands on it. Disappointing from the Spaniard. And Real Madrid will have a 2-goal lead as we head back to Seville for the second leg. Well, it's going to be very, very intense, that, and we've got a lot of work to do, but it is not unthinkable for us to win by 2-0 as we did last year in the final game of the season. But we'll jump into our fixture in the league. In between this clash, I'm going to make pretty much a whole rotation of my squad as I've got full focus on that second leg in Seville. So with a 10-point gap, a game in hand, and plenty of opportunities to slip up, there will be lots of changes as we travel to Deportivo Alaves. Vamos Sevilla. Still waiting for the first chance of the game here. Just over half an hour played and still we remain deadlocked. Plenty of changes, of course, for us with that second leg in mind, as Amin, one of few who start today, and what a brilliant run. And the only reason that I've really started him is, well, A, that chance of 40 goals, and B, I wanted him to lead the line, get us a few goals up, and then I can sub him off. Well, it's taken 35 minutes, but we finally have our breakthrough, and it's a brilliant Amin Gouiri goal. Well, this should just about do it as Couto into the area, picks up Piqué, blocked, and Romero somehow misses in what has summed up a really terrible game here away from home in Alaves. I won't care though, we get the job done, and it is Amin Gouiri's goal that is the difference. That's why I started him, as he hunts down consecutive 40 goal seasons in La Liga. But quick one out of the way and on to the main article as we return back home to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan for that second leg against Real Madrid. Trailing by 2 goals, but proving in that first leg that we can score against this Madrid team. We just need to tighten up defensively, and the first goal is also going to be massively important tonight. Let's see how we get on. Big pressure. Vamos Sevilla. I've made a few changes to my lineup tonight, with Beñat Prados slipping back into midfield, with Quique Salas coming into our back line. Fresneda comes in at right back due to suspension for Juan Luis Sanchez, and also Piqué into that attacking midfield role. Of course, Aimar did... Oh, what a save, Kepa. Aimar did so well in this competition over the last few years, scored in the first leg, but I've decided if we are going to do this, we're going to need our best players out there, and Piqué and Amin have that connection, and I'm hoping they're going to be able to link up tonight to score those goals that we need. Another frantic start here in Seville, but still we remain deadlocked. Kepa, quick throw out to Fresneda, and now Yasser fires that into Piqué. And Amin, back to Piqué, he's in. Can he finish? Piqué is wonderful! And Piqué does it again. Scored in the first leg as well. Given the nod tonight over Aimar. And it's he and Amin that have that wonderful chemistry. Defenders converging on him. Had to take it on a little bit earlier, but clips it in off the far upright and halves the deficit once again in this tie to just 1 goal. We are not out of this yet. Piqué back to Yasser. And I think it is down our right-hand side where we're going to be most deadly, up against Fran Garcia and Stefan de Vrij. And we've got to try and exploit this left flank of Madrid. Beautifully worked, and Beñat couldn't take it with him. as Valverde will clear, and that will do it for the half. But honestly, it's been a good 45 minutes for Sevilla. We have halved that deficit, and we do look dangerous down our right flank, getting at Stefan de Vrij and Fran Garcia. Big second half needed, but there's only one goal in it. There is still plenty of chances to come in this game, as Piqué has it again. And now Bina to Piqué. And Pedrosa's onside. The skipper, Adrian Pedrosa, wearing the armband, gets his side level, and it's 4-4 on aggregate, a cracking Champions League tie. And Sevilla have done it. We're back on level terms, but now can we go one step further and reach the semi-finals against all odds? We've got them on the ropes. Yasser, Piqué. Oh, what a block. Konate. That's unbelievable defending. And now Real Madrid come forward with Mbappe and Vinny. And Mbappe and Vinny, and Kepa does brilliant on the closeout. Still not cleared as Bellingham lets fly. Blocked. Vinny and Gila does well, and Sevilla will clear. Well, this tie is just bursting into action once again as Amin's needless skill gives it away. But there's goals to come. Gavi out to Yasser. Garcia sold himself there. Yasser's in behind. Yasser, oh, it's going to drop in. It's going to drop in. It's an own goal. I'm not even sure who it's come off. But Yasser does well, drills it into a dangerous area, and Ibrahima Konate, who made a huge block moments ago, diverts into his own net, and Sevilla are in front for the first time in the tie with just over 10 minutes to play. Massive, massive own goal by the Frenchman. Can we hold on and reach the final four of the Champions League? Oh, that's lucky. It'll come from me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing it. I'm going to the corner. There is 2 minutes on the clock, and you won't see me doing this very often, but I am just keeping the ball because I know how deadly that Real Madrid attack is as the challenge flies in from Christian Pulisic. I think Bina will be okay, and I think it will just be a yellow, but the frustration coming through there from the American. And again, we're just going to play this nice and short in the corner as Yasser will come across, and that should just about do it. As Yasser, do you know what? It doesn't even matter. Boot it off the pitch. There is the whistle. And Sevilla, against all odds, have done it. 4-2 down from the first leg in Madrid. Coming back home to Seville for the second. And what a performance from all 11 players out there. Pedrosa, the captain, got us back on level terms. And it was an own goal from Ibrahima Konate diverting into his own net off Yasser Asprilla's cross that will send us to the final four. What a huge result, and just a show of how strong we have become over the last 4 seasons of this save. Let's go and find out who it is we're going to face in the final four. Well, as we sim through to this next clash against Barcelona, I'm not even asked, to be honest. If we lose the unbeaten streak, I will not care one bit after that result. But in the semi-finals, Sevilla will be taking on Bayern Munich, the Germans in the semis. As wow, Borussia Dortmund also reaching the final four, beating Manchester City. Wow, what a result for them by 5 goals to 2. Bayern Munich knocked out the Parisians, which is great news for us, and Arsenal, who were finalists last year, I believe, knocking out RB Leipzig. They will take on Dortmund as we take on Bayern Munich. That is going to be a huge, huge 2-legged affair that will come in the next episode. There's already been so much drama today. It's going to be a shorter one, but it's still going to be pretty long after those 2 legs. But yeah, we'll close out with Barcelona and Bilbao, and then we will come back in the next episode with both legs of the semi-final. We've got that 10-point gap at the top. We've still got a game in hand over Real Madrid, and they are now the only team that can realistically catch us. So Barcelona unsuccessful in defending their trophy, but I'm sure they will like to put that first loss on the board for Sevilla. Let's dive into it. As I say, I'm not too fussed about the result, but I would like to keep the unbeaten run going. Vamos, Sevilla. Yeah, I mean, Barcelona themselves don't have a huge amount to play for. Harry Kane and Amin Gouiri are both going for the Golden Boot this season, but in terms of league position, you'd think they'd pretty comfortably get into the Champions League. So it isn't much danger of them dropping out of that top 4 race. And as I say, I'm sure they would love to be the team to inflict our first defeat in La Liga this season, as we still remain undefeated. As look at Pedrosa again. What a run. Pedrosa looking for 2 in 2. Pedrosa, what a brilliant finish. And from left back, wearing the armband again, scored against Real Madrid. And then a few days later on the weekend, scores against Barcelona. What a few days for one of the leaders in this team, wearing the armband with Barde down and Sal not really featuring too much. And he is relishing in this opportunity. Great start from Sevilla. Prados wins the header. PK to Biner. Back to PK. And now Amin and Yasser out wide with Sanchez in support. And Sanchez, our fullbacks have been so adventurous this season. I think that's his 4th or 5th goal of the campaign. Pedrosa got the first goal, Sanchez gets the second, and we are really putting out a statement at the moment. Sevilla are the new big boys in Spain. Well, as we kick off for the second half, still leading by 2, but I was just thinking about how crazy it is, the difference between when we play at the Bernabeu and the Ramon Sanchez, as over the last 2 seasons, you think back to our double header against Real Madrid last year, lost the first game by 4 goals to 2, and then in the second game, yes, there was nothing really riding on the game, but we kept a clean sheet and won by, I think it was 2 goals to 0 at the Ramon Sanchez. And then again this season in the Champions League, conceding 4 at the Bernabeu, and looking pretty much down and out. And then a magnificent performance in Seville, where we kept a clean sheet and managed to close out Real Madrid's attack, who a week earlier had scored 4 goals against us. It's crazy the difference home advantage makes. And heading into the final 4 of the Champions League, of course, are we going to make that home advantage pay once again? We are away from home in the first leg against the Germans, Bayern Munich. So coming back home for the second, is that going to pay into our hands, or are Bayern Munich going to be able to get the better over us? It's going to be a cracking 2-legged affair, and as I say, both of those legs will come in the next episode. Well, it looks as if that is going to do it here, as it will be another clean sheet for Sevilla. Just 7 goals conceded in La Liga all season long, and what a signing Gregor Kobel has proven to be. Kept at one of the best front threes in the division once again here. No goals for Harry Kane or Amin Gouiri, as it is our fullbacks that steal the show. Goals for Pedrosa and Sanchez in that opening 45 minutes are enough for us to remain undefeated and steer even further clear of Barcelona and Real Madrid. A great victory against last year's champions, and we will jump into our final game of the episode, returning back home to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. It's Athletic Bilbao to close out. Vamos Sevilla. Burkhardt down the right for Bilbao. Nice little return ball inside. Nicely worked. Koulibaly in the way. Jibril can't get there. Danger. Fresneda. Oh, it's poor defending. It's really poor defending. Half-hearted by Fresneda. And Bilbao open the scoring here as we do fall behind. I've said that there's not really much riding on this, but of course I would love that unbeaten league season. Not many games to go, but I will be disappointed if we falter here. Well, still trailing by 1 at the break. Conditions aren't helping, but even if we're losing in this second half, I'm probably not going to bring on many of my starters, because it's only that undefeated season, which yes, I would like to have, but there's no actual trophies on the line. The championship is all but wrapped up, and I'd much rather keep my players fit and ready for that Champions League semi-final first leg. So yes, I'll be disappointed if we lose tonight, but we got bigger things to worry about in the Champions League. Rendrup into Pedrosa. Amin away from 1, but he's got so many bodies around him. Gets it back from Jibril. Still Amin. Gets half a yard. Amin Gouiri off the post. Jibril can't follow it up. And Bilbao will clear. Well, I was just thinking it's probably about time we take Amin off with that semi-final in mind. And that is probably his last chance to get on the score sheet tonight. Well, it doesn't look as if that goal's going to come, guys. And if anything, it might be Bilbao getting a second. Unless we can break with Puertas finding Couto. Don't blow up yet, ref. Couto turns on the afterburners. He's got Romero with him. Isaac Romero, what a save by Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. And he may have just inflicted our first and only loss of the La Liga season as Frendrup crosses blocked and Bilbao will clear, and that is going to do it. What a save by the big Serbian, and a big win for Bilbao in their hunt for European football. I'm not too disheartened by it as Timber goes over to congratulate his goalkeeper, but to be honest, I don't think anyone will remember too much if we are Champions League winners come the end of the season and have a La Liga title to go with it. So that will do it for today, guys. We'll be back in the next episode with lots of games as we're going to have both legs of the Champions League semi-final and all of our remaining, I think, 7 La Liga fixtures as we will close out the campaign and wrap up that championship once and for all. So that will do it for today's video, guys. I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Take care and peace.